What we are about to see requires a huge trigger warning because it includes violence and a lot of hubris and nonsense from a DEI police chief. But well, it goes back to multiple white people were attacked at a jazz festival this weekend in Cincinnati. Media is refusing to cover it. Zero headlines about this because this doesn't fit the narrative. And one of the things that doesn't fit the narrative, and there were multiple black people hitting a few white people. And that's not something that, if that isn't triggering enough, well, the woman you see in the upper left corner was punched by a black guy, and she just hit the pavement and has a concussion. I don't know the state of her health right now. I hope that she she's recovering from that. But this was horrific. I can't even play the videos in here because they're so triggering. I'm pretty sure YouTube is gonna flag them. You don't need to watch them either way here. You can watch them on X, all that you want. I share them there. And report a clear racially motivated attack near the Cincinnati Jazz Festival. A group of black assailants brutally assaulted a white man while taunting him with racist taunts. And more additional footage from Cincinnati shows black mobs attacking white senior citizens near the Cincinnati Jazz Festival. These are clearly racial hate crimes that must be investigated by the FBI and prosecuted by civil rights under Attorney Dillon. What's the problem with this? And when we reach out to the Cincinnati police chief, she chastises the media, the people on X, people who are, up in arms because of this, because nobody's covering this on the mainstream media for showing footage of the black mob attacking white people. It's not the fact that the black mob attacked white people. No, the issue she has is with the people sharing the video online. And if you don't believe me, then you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat. You need to watch this.
Another topic I want to cover real quick. Social media and journalism and the role it plays in this incident. And yes, guys, that's you. That is you.
This is Mega Karen over 9,000.
Social media, the post that we've seen, does not depict the entire incident. That is one version of what occurred.
So the man hitting a woman and the woman going he knocked her out and she hit the pavement with the back of her head, like totally unconscious, which is really dangerous. You can kill a person like that. Now, that was just a part of what really happened. But perhaps the worst part of this is that not only she's upset at the people who were filming, but she justified the release of the ringleader of the black mob that attacked and almost killed a male tourist and a single mother on $400 bond. Wait for it. Because he was a victim of a bartender who overserved him during the jazz festival. So the guy who was the perpetrator of these crimes, he gets a pass because he was overserved by a bartender. So the bartender who served him alcohol is the one to blame. Are you remotely understanding the level of insanity that we are dealing with here?
At times, social media and mainstream media and their commentaries are a misrepresentation of the circumstances surrounding any given event. What that does, that causes us some difficulties in thoroughly investigating the activity.
No, I'm going to tell you how this, let's say, makes you feel uncomfortable. It forces you to be accountable of what happened, accountable for the actual investigation, accountable to acknowledge what happened. That's something that is against your DEI narrative of these protected groups that can do no harm, that need reparations for some reason, that have to be protected at all costs, that are, I don't know, they have been, they need to be, oh no, they have been oppressed up to this day. No, that is simply not possible. And I'm going to say that every time we see a police chief that is a white lady and begins talking like that, begins speaking nonsense, we can only imagine that, well, this is pretty much the same. This is pretty much the same. It's always the same problem. It's always the same problem with the same demographic. It is always the same problem with the same DEI hire. And we cannot get away from this. And that's when you realize that the woke nonsense and the DEI nonsense is far from there. We're gonna take some time to be able to go through this phase, but meanwhile, we have to deal with this stupidity.
And enforcing the law. Because what happens, that social media post and your coverage of it distorts the content of what actually happened.
Distorts the content of what actually happened. The video clearly shows a man punching a woman in the face, knocking her down, and she hitting the pavement with her head. There's no way you can misinterpret that. There's no way you can be confused about what happened. That actually happened. And you can see the mob of thugs just kicking these people on the head when they are down on the ground. And I don't know what to tell you. And she has the gall to just stand there and say, no, you sharing this, you presenting these videos, you talking about these videos, you are the problem.
And it makes our job more difficult. Go ahead, right here.
Thank you. 2 questions. Where were the nearest officers?
In the central business section. They were working. They were both in vehicles, and like I said, they had to maneuver through the traffic.
My second question is, you had said social media, news media distorted the content of what actually happened. What exactly was distorted? I understand that there was multiple views of the video, but exactly what led up to this? I mean, what was distorted?
Yeah, so I think by the irresponsibility with social media is it just shows one side of the equation quite frequently without context, without factual context. And then people run with that. And then it grows legs and it becomes something bigger that we then have to try to manage as part of the investigation.
So yes, the fact that people were filming, wait a second. You know that when you're doing an investigation, right? When you're through an investigation of something that happened, you need witnesses, right? And you need witnesses. Why do you need witnesses? Because you need people who saw what happened, and you need to, find out about their testimony, right? And you write that down. But the problem is that sometimes people's perception, maybe they were drinking a bit, or maybe it was dark, maybe that could be distorted, and the recollections of people can be flawed. But if you have video of what happened, if you have videos of what happened in the moment, if you have different angles of what happened at the moment, filmed by bystanders, then you have, unbiased content, unbiased footage of what happened, so you can make a better investigation. Tell me, how is it possible that having video and footage of that monstrosity makes your investigation more difficult? That is a lie. That simply doesn't work like that. This is the problem with this kind of stuff. They want you to deny what your eyes saw. They want you to know you are the problem for recording. And this is when people say, oh, why were people recording these videos? Why weren't they helping? I mean, if you see the videos, you see this, what can you do? It was like, I don't know, 10 of them. What do you expect? And maybe the one who was recording was one of the thugs. That is a possibility. He was having fun recording what his thug friends were doing. That is a possibility as well. And you know that people are so stupid that they share that to social media and it gets viral immediately. Of course. But no, it means that having video of a crime actually makes investigation harder. Give me a break. This is the kind of sheer effing hubris that we see. And I think that hubris is not the right word. It's like, yeah, it's having this it's being so, I don't know how to say this, but it's so triggering. Imagine that these people can just stand there and say those words to people and say that you are the problem, not what they are investigating. But again, I would like to know what you think about this in the comments. Remember to follow me also on my Power Pundit channel for more commentary on this stuff, and also check my 100 body language tips in the description of this video. My name is Jesus Enrique Rosas. I'm the body language guy. Much love and bliss.